Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and before we get started, I always forget, so I'm just going to do it now. Go ahead and click like and subscribe. You're going to like it, so you might as well subscribe to it. I mean, you know, and if you don't like it, at least I'll come annoy you once every 2 weeks and you can cuss at me. So go ahead and like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Another thing, I want to ask a question before we get to today's video. I threw up a couple shorts. I didn't put a lot of work into them, and it wasn't snake red. It was just kind of me doing some fun shit. But what I want to know is shorts something that you guys like. I kind of feel like maybe it feeds the algorithm, and hold on, all hail the algorithm, right? So let me know if you'd like that. And then two, tell me, what would you want to see in those shorts? Would you want to see a mix of things like reptiles and other dumb crap that Matt does, or maybe even some dumb crap that Kurt does? Kurt's got kids. He does a lot less of dumb crap. He's got more to risk, you know? I don't have kids. I can do all the dumb shit I want. It's awesome. Or would you rather stay in just 100% reptile related? I'm going to take your comments into consideration. At the end of the day, I'm probably going to do whatever the hell I want. But it's, you know, probably have a little bit of a mix of both if you guys like those shorts. And if you do like them, we'll do them here. If you don't like them here, we might look at getting back into the TikTok. Of course, some of that's a little bit down the road. But I want to know what you guys like so we can kind of tailor this experience to you. So what is today's video about? Well, today we're going to talk about some of the whys you see this vast difference in price from a proven female and a new female, and kind of what to consider when you're making those options on that. Then we're going to go on to Patreon. We're going to talk on Patreon a little bit. I know some of you complain, oh, you always do stuff over there, because they're paying for extra content. So I'm going to give them some of my innermost thoughts, fears, and hopes and dreams. It's like a kumbaya moment. Plus, we have a really cool Discord community, so join that. But we're going to go there. We're going to talk about some of the pitfalls in buying a proven female, why I think there's some issues there, and some of the things that you can ask and hope to see to put your mind at ease to avoid that, which we've talked about a little bit before. So if you really want to dig through, you can probably find that information from me. It hasn't really changed, but we're going to kind of cover that over there. So without further ado, let's get started. And the only way to really do this I can think about is literally show you a young one. Hi, youngin'. This is a little bitty pied. Now she's one of my struggle bus ones a little bit right now, so we wouldn't be parting with her anyway, but she's a holdback right there, little baby pied. You know what? Let me put her up. I'm going to get one that's a male. It don't have to matter for sex. We can lie about sex. I'm going to get you one. I don't have to worry about stressing too much. That's bigger. So hold on. I'm going to make a left turn because that one there, I don't want to stress her. She's just, sometimes you get some of them that are a little bit slow on the uptake, and she is one. Here you go. This one's not, though. This one actually is a female. I forgot I did have another female. I just kept that one instead. So, female pied. That would be one we'd be selling right now. I don't know if we've ever posted it or not yet, but we will eventually. It's of size, ready to rock. You know, and the going rate market for me on pieds, on these, whoa, our camera's like squealing. We use brand new equipment here at Olympus, I promise. We don't like to sell anything until it gets to be at least 80 grams. It's just kind of the minimum. I can tell you this thing here is definitely there. It's probably more like, I'm going to go 115. That's close. 106. If I was a drug dealer, I'd be giving you extra. Thank God I'm not, because that's bad. Don't do that kind of stuff. And I mean that because, you know, I see that in a lot of people's lives, believe it or not, depending on what kind of thing we're talking about. But anyway, 106 grams, ready to sell, right? Going market rate for me on these is I typically sell these. I typically post these for about 350 bucks. There's some variances in there. I don't get cute on going, oh, it's an emoji, because that's not genetic. We occasionally may be a little higher, a little lower on the one based on the overall look. You know, this one would be a $350 pied, right? Cool looking pied, kind of that split, a lot of white, but a lot of orange, probably about a 60-40, but it's all kind of orange, 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 white, 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 white. So, you know, anyway, that would be about 350 bucks, I said, correct? Now, I did not think this through too well. I really kind of need a bowl to do what I'm going to do, but I can find one, so just bear with me. You know what? You'll probably work. So we're going to use this to do this next job. We're going to put that there, and we're going to zero that scale out, because this is important, y'all. I go to price my next one. So that's 0 grams. And then we have this pied here. Now this is a proven female pied who's laid for me multiple years in a row. And let's just see what she's weighing. And before somebody gets excited, no, I am not selling this girl. But if I was, stay up there. She's weighing at 2,674 grams. I'd probably ask 2,500 because I'm a nice guy. So 2,500 bucks would be the going rate I'd ask for her if I wanted to sell her. And for those of you that are wondering why $2,500 versus $350, because that's an increase. It's massive. I can't even do the math. I'm not that good at. If it was $3,500, I could do it. I'd be like, that's a, you know, but it's not. So it's just a lot more. So why so much more? What are you really paying for? Let me tell you, if you're wanting to buy a pet, okay, just go here. You know, I mean, chances are when a snake gets that about 100 gram mark, 800 grams, it's eating good, everything's looking good, the animal looks healthy, you're probably going to be successful with it. There's really no reason, if all you're wanting is a pet, to go spend that kind of money on a proven breeder. Don't do it. Just buy the pet. Okay? Just trust me on that. Now, if you are wanting to breed, the reason people pay more for a proven breeder is really simple. This girl here at 106 grams, if she eats good, everything goes right, she's going to have to be 3 years old before you're ready to breed her, right? That snake there, you could buy and you could breed and you could pop out babies. And if you happen to have a pied male sitting around, you just did a pied to pied pairing and you had 6 eggs out of her, which I think she usually lays more than that, if I'm being honest. I have to go back and check the numbers. But if you got 6 eggs out of her, they'd all be pied. And even if you only got 300 a pied after your expenses of going to a show or whatever, you're still looking at 3 times 6. I can do that math. That's $1,800. So you haven't paid for her yet, but by year 2, you've paid for her and gained a profit. By year 2 on this girl, well, you ain't paid for her. You ain't gained a profit. You ain't gained shit. Okay, you're still growing her. You're just taking a risk if something happens. Year 3, you can breed her and get your first 6 eggs and finally turn a profit on your initial $350 investment. A profit of about $1,500, let's call it. Whereas that one, now you've already turned a profit. You're breeding it again. And this is only if you're doing a straight pied. This isn't even thinking if you're adding a male that's like a pied multi-gene thing or if you got some other project going on. You're going to breed that again, right? And you're going to make purely profit on every baby. So you're going to be ahead by a large chunk of money starting with that adult female and that proven female. Also, you're taking, in some ways, less risk. Theoretically speaking, that's what we'll talk about on Patreon, that theoretically part. You're taking less risk with an adult female who's a proven breeder because you know she can produce, so you don't have to worry about being infertile. You don't have to worry about her getting sick in those first 3 years. You don't have to worry about a failure to thrive situation like the other one I showed you was a little bit of a fight. You don't have to worry about that shit. It's already done for you. All you gotta do is put food in her and breed her and wait, right? You don't have to worry about, is my female like gonna be able to produce? Is she gonna egg bind? Is she gonna do those things? You should already have that information. That's not very likely for her to do so. So that is why, I don't think this was a very long video. I just kind of powered through this one. People pay, sorry, no, I'm scary. People pay more for that adult proven breeder female. It's all right there. There's your value. And you get a higher return of your investment, not to mention your investment starts to return earlier. Yes, your investment's lower here. And we're not even including the rats or the food. We're assuming that's not a big deal because you're breeding all of that or the bedding or any of that. But when you include that, those numbers get even more wonky towards the adult. However, if you're wanting a pet, most people like puppies, right? Most people like baby snakes. They want to watch it grow. They want to feel like they're bonded to it. They want to be able to handle it as it grows, have that nice animal. So if you're looking for a pet, I think a baby's the best way to go. If you're wanting to breed, but you're not wanting to do it right now, you've got time, you want to grow things up, you want to have that experience, I get it. I did too. Go with it. But if you're wanting to jump the line, so to speak, there's a market for those adult breeders. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. Kurt, any questions about that?
So that's right for females, but what about male proven breeders?
So for male proven breeders, it's a little bit of a different story. Personally, this is personally speaking, you put her back. Get on in there, girl. Get on in there. Get it, get it. Personally, you're never going to, or you should not pay a large premium for a proven male. There are exceptions. There's always exceptions. But typically you can get a male ready in about a year. So paying a very large premium doesn't make a lot of sense, because all those numbers I just ran, they don't work, right? When you're getting them ready in a year. Now, would you pay somewhat of a premium? Yeah, you're going to pay more for that proven male. One, you're taking that guesswork out of infertility. You should be taking some of the guesswork, and think that there's no guesswork in genetics is wrong. There's always a little bit of guesswork in genetics. What I mean is you're trying to look at a baby and identify all the genes in it. When you got 1 or 2 or 3 genes, it's not that hard. When you get 5 or 6, you're kind of going, I think that's in here. You know, looks like it based on this. And you'll have more errors. Our rule is we always try to error. If we're going to make an error, I like to do it in my customer's favor. That's what I want to do. I'd rather say, hey, this could be in there, but I don't know for sure, and sell it like it's not, because that's a happy customer to find out they got some bonus. But by the time it's a proven male, you should know what's in it based on what is produced for sure. So if there's any of those, oh, look, it happened to be, like in our case, we bought one that was that ended up being pastel. It was an ivory, an inchy ivory. No idea pastel was in there, but it threw pastels in multiple clutches. Pastel. His value went up. The seller wasn't sure it was in there, didn't sell it as that. So good on the seller. But you're not going to pay as big of a premium. It's not going to go up that 8-9 times. You know, if I have a $300 male as a baby and I'm buying it as an adult, I might be willing to pay $400, you know, because I can make sure it's already ready. I have to worry about, is it going to get ready in that year? I also know it can produce sperm. Makes me feel a little bit better about it. You know, but you're not going to pay the same premium because there's not as much time investment. So that's kind of one of them things. Any other questions, Kurt?
Yeah, you gave that example on the pied.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true for other females, for snakes, the price difference?
Man, it's true across the board when you're dealing with females and ball pythons. Now, I picked pied because pied has just got a very large swing in it. Some of the others don't. I mean, but there's still going to be a very big swing. A great example is normals, you know, and I don't know what they're going to rate for a normal is now. The market's all screwy, but if you're wholesaling normals for $20, which ain't uncommon, y'all, then you're going to turn around and sell a proven adult normal for $100 usually, right? So there's a 5 times there. You know, your pastel that you may sell at $90 or $100, $125, somewhere in that range for a female pastel. As a baby, as a proven adult, I might want 200 for, or 250 or 3, which honest to God is low. Some genes are good investments as adults because they don't have as much of a premium. And people are going to kind of shake their head when they hear that, like, well, but it's just a pastel. But I want you to think you're buying that animal that you didn't have to wait 3 years on, and you're going to return that investment if you put the right male to it now and make a profit on $300, and you ain't waiting 3 goddamn years. There is those single genes and those genes that people kind of forget about, to an extent, are some of your best ones to purchase to begin breeding right away as a proven breeder, because you can get those with a fairly low investment cost, right? I'm talking your pastels, your lessers, your spiders if you're so inclined. I know some people aren't, and that's okay. You know, maybe a black pastel. I don't know what the going rate for adult females on those are. Some of those type of things. And then you drop your money on your male, and you're still going to make 3, 4, 5 gene combos if you want to make that many combos, or you're going to make the right genes that are nice, and you're going to be able to do it fairly quickly if everything goes as it's technically supposed to. Any other questions, Kurt?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We're going to switch over to Patreon and kind of cover that technically part and really tell you that, well, I say and told you why it can be a good idea, why a lot of times I think it isn't, and why personally I like babies, but that's just me. But we'll get back to you guys, and we'll see you next time.